Okay, so there's actually two ways to do it. The first is just to scale one product heavily, meaning the product has a ton of demand and has proof of concept built into it. The second is selling a lot of products, but not with many volume across the board. But hold on, what if there was a better way that combines both, but at the same time isn't as risky as just selling one product a bunch of times, as it could die and dry out, and the other way of not having to have a million different suppliers with just a crappy general store. So I'm super excited to share this strategy with you guys, because it's not as obvious as you might think based on the whole intro of this video. And I thought the answer was just as obvious as test more products, you'll get more sales, but it's not. You see, as I look through at hundreds of stores, I've started to notice a few patterns. A lot of the time stores, you and I, we're focused on metrics, we're focused on the numbers. The 100k per month store. And the reason we're mainly focused on this is because we want to make ecom our full-time gig. And we want to quit the job we hate. We want to go full-time into entrepreneurship, and we've decided dropshipping is going to be the game that does that, right? But amongst all of these, I've started to see in many cases that we're looking at this wrong. I want to invite you to think about this differently. So rather than focus on the metric of the 100k per month store, rather than that being your primary focus, I want you to actually focus on this instead. Creating a branded store that solves the problem your customer just desires. Now, the reason I say this is just so revolutionary is because I keep seeing the same pattern. As if we're focused on the metrics, the 100k a month in sales, the, stick it to your boss and live that laptop lifestyle. If we're focused on those primarily, it leads us to do a few odd things with our stores. And it often leads us to focusing on these metrics. So much that we forget why we got into dropshipping in the first place, which is to build an authentic brand and to help people with our products, so people can't stop talking about us, that at every drop of a new product they're rushing to get their credit card and purchase. So if you actually focus on building a store that people just can't resist buying from, you'll be building both a 100k a month store, which will naturally lead to $1 million a month. I hope you kind of get that. The natural result of building a brand with your stores will be the results that you're looking for. So now we've got that out of the way and we've kind of covered the mindset here, let's actually focus on strategy. What can you do now to hit the 100k a month in sales? The first thing you can do is you can smash the like button on this video, because that's actually very important for getting 100k a month in sales. I'm obviously kidding, but however, smashing the like button does help this video spread and hopefully help more people. But the actual first thing you need to do for the 100k a month in your store, there's a common thread that the reason why people can't resist to buy off big brands and products that solve their problems, there's a massive reason why they consistently come back to shop online countless amounts of times. And it's up to you to answer that question. What are those reasons? So let me show you an example from Manual. If you're a potential customer of this store, you already know the things about yourself. You're looking to really fix your hairline. That's the obvious thing. It's, hey, my receding hairline is annoying me and I don't want to go down the route of a transplant. Why would you buy here versus all of the other hair growth stores trying to solve the same problem? Now, I know this is not the only store that sells this type of product, but in many cases there are specific reasons why stores like Manual become the preferred store for their massive pain point. So when I look through Manual, the common differences are, number one, it's not coming from China. Like, look at the differences here between the display photos, the layout and the overall branded feel. I can trust this way more. People come here because they want to learn how to fix their problems the right way and not have to worry if this serum is going to fry their skin or leave them with a rash, but actually real experience with the reviews compared to the other stores' obvious fake ones. And another thing real quick, let's actually check the traffic on both of these stores. Manual are getting 20x more traffic to their store, and with all the points we discussed before, their conversion rate is probably double the stores. So you've now found the reasons of what stores you want to mimic and what stores you want to stay away from. The next thing I want you to do is test consistently on your store. Now, I know this is repeated a lot in the space, but I want to give you the cut and dried here. If you're not getting a lot of sales on the products you're testing, you need to be testing way more to find what actually sticks. But beyond that, testing these products consistently and doing so gives you so much more chance for our product to actually begin to scale. And it gives you so much more practice. I say this so much here. The more practice you can get with full effort product testing on your stores, the more likely you are to succeed. Because I can't tell you how many times people will come to me and say, well, what's wrong with my store? And they're only testing once every week or sporadically. And the actual effort on these products, one is like, hey, I've actually went out and put a lot of effort in here. And then there's like 3 that's like, oh, let me just get some products out there. Now, I say this because for some of you watching, you need to hear it that way. When you're testing these products, there need to be some that can go way bigger. Because showing the actual math here, if I test 3 products and I'm testing once a week and I get 50 sales, you know, that's great. But if I double that, not only am I going to get double the potential sales, but I'm also going to get double the potential for finding a big winner. I hope you kind of get that, but I also got to say something else, especially if you're under the 100k a month category. And that is the number of dropshippers that actually get to that 100k a month level. They get there, you know, they grind, they actually get there. Then they kind of fizzle out and they just kind of die and their store just goes to 50k a month, 20k a month, and then pretty much zero. And it makes me kind of sad because I've seen literally a lot of dropshippers do this. And the main reason that happens is because that was the goal in the dropshipper's mind. The goal was simply, hey, I've got 100k in sales a month. I made that and we don't really have a lot of drive past that. We weren't thinking of how to actually build a brand that people love. We just wanted to get rich. And I actually think totally different on this now, and I think you should too. Because your next goal after that 100k a month should not be a sales number. Obviously we want it to grow as well, but your next goal should be get repeat customers, and you should have customers emailing you telling you just how much they love your product. Because what does that mean? That means you're building a moat, a long-lasting store that no one can compete with you. You're solving the problem, the pain points, the desires of people who like you, and they will buy every new product that you launch and go from there. But Jake, I hear you asking, how can I actually go out and do that in a step-by-step way? And for that, I actually needed to make a dedicated video on that specifically, on how to actually get that 100k a month in sales on any given store that you launch. So if you would like to know how to do both of those things, you're going to want to watch this video here where I lay out the fundamental frameworks on how you can get this going.